What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions. You already know what time it is. It's that Robert Whittaker versus Israel Adesanya breakdown time, man. I am so hyped for this fucking fight. I think justice will be served. I think humanity will come back to normal. The children will start singing. The birds will start chirping. And the world will be okay. But man, I cannot wait for this fucking fight. Actually, I'm actually really hyped for it. It's probably the best high level middleweight fight of the year. I don't think anything can top this, man. I thought Marvin versus Izzy was gonna be like something great, or Marvin was gonna smash him. But it didn't end up going that way. So I honestly do think this is Robert, and I think Derek has a chance. I really do think Derek can present some problems in a rematch against Adesanya. Those are my last two, my last two prayers against Adesanya. After that, I'm just I would not. Real talk. If Israel, Adesanya, all right, decides to go and beat Robert Whittaker, let's say in the first round, right, knocks him out even worse, right, and then just stomps out Blonde Brunson. I'm done. I am not covering the middle. Real talk. I will protest. I'm done. Like, these guys aren't on his level. But yeah, I'm just playing. I probably won't do that. But it is what it is. This is a great fucking fight. I love the fight, man. Obviously, they did have a fight a few years back. I think in 2018. And yeah, Adesanya won that one. Before, it was interim champion versus champion. Now it's champion versus number one contender, man. This is a story of Robert Whittaker climbing his way back to Adesanya and trying to climb that mountain again. Before, it was Adesanya climbing the mountain of Robert Whittaker. And honestly, with all due respect to the Reaper and his Reaper fans, Izzy made that look easy. He didn't even make it look like he was climbing a mountain. It looked like he stepped over a little bit of rubble. But for Robert, this is a mountain for him to climb. This is going to be hard for him. This isn't easy. Rematches are very interesting. It's hard for both guys, really, because it's like, can Robert get over the fact that he did lose to this guy, accept it, right, and just move on and basically make life fair in the second fight? That's basically what he has to do, and come with that mentality, because it's very hard to get caught up in the fact that this guy did beat you. It is a fact, and you can get caught up in that, and then you can be like, nothing changes, and then everything goes back to normal, or basically as it went in the first fight. I always go back to that Kevin Lee versus Ally Quinta, because it's like one of those rematches, or one of those little rivalries, where it was just like, it's crazy to me, because like, they were very competitive fights, but for some odd reason, they just ended the same way. Like, it was very like, man. And it's like, the first fight happened, and it was more, now, Al dropped him in the first fight, right? Then Kevin had some moments, took his back, and then Al decided to beat his ass in the third round, right? So then, I'm not sure how many years apart from the first fight, but I feel like at least I could say 4 or 5, right? Like a long amount of time, right, passed. I might be wrong, but I feel like a lot of time passed between those fights, right? And then they fight again. They run it back. The last show on Fox. It's one of those shows I remember. I'll never forget. Kevin, in my humble opinion, could have won the first 3 rounds. The first round is very, very close, and I have no problem with anyone that gave the first round to Al. And then the championship rounds, or I shouldn't call it championship rounds, the 4th and 5th rounds, right? Even though Kevin won the previous 2 with the grappling, he got literally bludgeoned, and Al was unloading on him like he did in the first fight, but this time he's screaming at him, same old Al. And the reason I bring that up is because Ally Quinta said something really interesting. Same old Al, right? Robert Whittaker might fall in a trap. This is the same old fight. This is the same old Adesanya that knocked me out twice in one fight. That's the thing. That's what Robert has to overcome, is that mental hurdle. If he can overcome that, then I think this fight is his, man. When you talk about skill set, I might not like Whittaker and his fucking fans, Nothing against the guy. I think the guy is whatever, but still, I'm gonna get some hate from Rob fans, even though I want to be picking their fucking boy. Spoiler alert. Rob has the skill set to beat him, right? I'm just gonna say it at that. I'm not gonna talk about my personal feelings about him, but Rob has the skill set. You know, the guy competed in the Commonwealth Games. He could have competed in the Olympics for the Australian wrestling team. That's how good of a wrestler he is. But for some odd, and he started off as a wrestler and then, you know, fell in love with the striking aspect of the sport. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's your choice. Whatever you want to fucking do. You're the fucking fighter. But Rob has a very, very good offensive wrestling game, and he showed it in his last 3 fights. But for some odd reason in that first fight, he never showed it. And I don't know why, and it is what it is. So in this second fight, he has a real opportunity to do that. And that's the story of this fight. Can Rob, for him, can he change how people look at him in this second fight and just kind of give a different outlook and show people that he did overcome this? He did overcome the first fight, really. Not just this, but he overcame the first fight, the hurdles, and he showed himself as the true best middleweight in the world. Now, for Adesanya, this is hard. This is really hard, actually. Like, as much as I might like, I shouldn't even say like. I dislike. As much as I dislike Adesanya, this is a hard fight for him because mentally, like, how do you get motivated for a guy you knocked out twice in one fight? Like, with all due respect to Reaper fans, this clown did knock your boy out twice. Like, he knocked him out twice. You know, I know Rob has his excuses, long layoff and fucking injuries and stuff like that, but that's on him. He did the duck and dive against Luke Rockhold and fucking destroyed that whole entire show, damn near. Did the duck and dive against Kelvin Gastelum, literally destroyed that show, fucking destroyed pay-per-view. So I honestly don't feel any, long layoff. When I hear long layoff, like, I don't feel bad for that guy, all right? Like, he knew about and that's the thing, like, people's like, he was hurt, bro. He was hurt, He knew about his tummy ache for 234, all right? He did know about it. He knew about it, but he continued. He showed up to the weigh-ins. He showed up to the ceremonial weigh-ins, did the face-off, like hours before he fucking pulls out. They should have stripped him then, and I would have stripped his ass right then and there. The day of, that's like some John Jones, like fucking Dan Henderson, or not even Dan Henderson, Chael Sonnen shit. All right, and he gets hate for that, but Rob gets, whatever. I don't want to. Okay, gonna get me. But Adesanya, right? He has to. How does he get motivated for this? Right, that's the thing. That's my point. How can he outdo what he did in the first fight? He can't. He really can't. So what Adesanya has to do is do what got him to the ballpark. Do what he did in the first fight. Establish his jab. Expose Rob, right, for not being good against southpaw fighters. Use the rear hook and catch him. This is what it comes down to. Izzy just has to keep his takedown defense in order. He has to really box him up in that southpaw stance, like he said in the first fight, after he beat him up, because he didn't throw a lot of kicks. He said the reason I did that is because he saw holes in Rob's game, and he doesn't do well against guys that switch stances and they go to southpaw. They really catch him, right? And that's what Izzy does. Touch him up. Now, I don't think he's gonna knock him out the first, like he did the first time. I think if Izzy wins, it might be a decision. Or maybe a late TKO if he's lucky. But box him up, use your reach. Rob is at a big reach disadvantage here, and do what things got you to ballpark, and obviously stay fit and stay motivated. Don't take too many unnecessary risks, and I think he's good. Don't throw low kicks. Don't throw body kicks. It's. I'll talk more about it when we get into the actual film breakdown of this fight. But really, for the story of this fight, it just comes down to, overcoming Rob's side, overcoming the first fight, right? And for Izzy staying motivated. That's really what it's down to. Like that's what I love about rematches, because it's like if the guy that beat you the first time stays motivated enough, right? He'll most of the time beat you, right? If he's even more motivated to beat you a second time and just seem amped, he'll fucking beat you like the exact same way, right? But if you're not motivated, if he's like Stipe Miocic, like I'm not giving him as an excuse, but every time I saw him at the press conference, at the stare downs, he had that same dumb firefighter fucking Cleveland, Ohio fucking face, like he didn't even want to be there, right? And Francis looked like he was ready to fucking get his belt back, right? Or not back, but get his belt, right? So that's the thing. Like, you have to be motivated. You have to be ready to defend your throne. I'm not going to let you fucking take this from me. You have to have that attitude. And that's really what it comes down to for Adesanya. If he has that attitude, he's good. But in terms of the stats, we got to look at the stats, man. Israel Adesanya is the champion of the world, the middleweight champion of the world, with a record of 21-1. Fights out of Auckland, New Zealand, age 32, a height of 6'4", and a reach of 80. Robert Whittaker, the number 1 middleweight in the world, with a record of 23-5, fights out of Australia, age 31, a height of 6 foot, and a reach of 73.5. So Rob does have a big reach. Well, he does have a big reach disadvantage, as I say advantage, but Izzy is the one with the advantage. Yeah, it's not looking too good. But obviously, we got to talk about the elephant in the room. I actually didn't talk about it, but is the first fight. That was one of the first fights I actually watched, was the first Israel Adesanya versus Whittaker fight. On the Whittaker side, man, I remember when I first watched it live, I kind of felt like Rob did okay. Like, he thought he was... I thought when I first... I don't know why I thought that, but I thought Rob won the first round before the knockdowns. Or the knockdown, right? But then I watch it again, and Rob did 2 good things. I'll give Rob... He did 2 good things. He landed a good jab in the total fight and a good oblique kick. That's it. That's all Rob did. That's it. Besides that, Rob was hitting air. I mean, Israel made him look stupid in there. He was hitting air, y'all. Air. Like, he wasn't even touching him. Like, I don't even want to fucking boost this guy's head up, but like, he literally had this dude touching air. Like, it looked like Rob was fighting the air, the wind. Like, he was a fucking... like, it's crazy. Like, it's so stupid, but and that's what it came down to. I thought Izzy landed a really good jab to the body. I thought Izzy, he had a really cool counter, right? He countered the oblique kick, right, with a really good high kick. And obviously, dude, I loved how Izzy walked him down at one point and attacked the body, like through 2 good hooks to the body. I thought that was actually kind of cool. And yeah, man, I mean, he boxed him up, and obviously we got to talk about the first knockdown. He caught him clean with that first knockdown, and I mean, it really, really hurt Whittaker, man, bad. It was pretty, like, like, I laugh about it, but man, like, I was devastated. I really want Whittaker to win. I actually picked Whittaker the first time, right? I had a bad feeling Izzy was gonna win. I really did. Like, because, like, I don't have a lot of respect for Rob, as not as like a fucking person, but just I'm not that high on him as a fighter, and he's a good fighter. I'm not saying he's bad or anything, but it's probably because of his fans, man. His fans make him like insufferable. But I you just sometimes you just gotta go with the lesser of 2 evils, right? And that's what I'm gonna do here again. But Rob, I mean, he got knocked down. He got fucking clipped, right? He got put down bad. And then he proceeded to get put down even worse in the second round and got fucking finished in his hometown. That's what made that fight so crazy, was because, the dynamics of, their home countries and stuff like that, and where they come from, right? And that was Rob's hometown. And I think that's the thing about this fight. And for Rob, and then Rob even talked about it. I think, sadly, I didn't think he got in his head. Like Izzy says, like, I remember those press conferences like yesterday, right? I personally felt like Izzy didn't get in his head. But somehow, like, I don't think that would, like, I'm just saying, like, if Izzy said that to me, that wouldn't get in my head. Like, dude, you're 32 and you're dumb. Like, you do, like, that's it. Like, that's it. That's all he is, right? But for some odd reason, it did get in his head. And Rob admits it, and that's why he fought the way he fought, man. we're actually going to talk about a fight that made, in my humble opinion, Rob fight that way. But the dude thought he was Kelvin Gastelum in there. And he's not. That's not his style. He doesn't do that. And he can never do that again against, it's just not worth it. You're not durable enough. And that's just a fact. Rob has in my opinion, suspect chin. He has, a really, really suspect chin. Guys will fucking trash other fighters for having bad chins. But this dude, let's not talk about his chin. He has chin chin lawyers, man. He has pretty good chin lawyers, but it's crazy, in my humble opinion, I think Rob fought the dumbest fight he could have ever fought, right? And I think in this second fight he can give a way better account of himself, and that's what it comes down to. We got to talk about Rob's last three, right? Or not last three. So the way I'm doing this film study is their most recent fight, actually. A fight where they fought a similar style and did really good, and then a fight where they fought a similar style to their opponent and did really bad, right? And basically, for Rob, it's it's Izzy. So we looked at the Stephen Wonderboy Thompson fight versus Whittaker, and that's where he did really, really bad. He did horrible in there. He did god awful, right? Again, you see the same issues. Southpaw fighter. Obviously, Stephen is an orthodox stance fighter, but he can switch stances. And in that fight, he switched stances. And one of the things he did was, it wasn't clean. Don't get it twisted. The thing Stephen was doing, it's weird. It's that dumb karate stance shit, right? But it wasn't clean. But he was landing. He would do the pullback counter and land, or he'd slip his head out of the fucking center line and get that fucking right cross, right? And he'd land. He'd really land, right? And then he set it up perfectly and got the knockout and fucking clipped Whittaker and knocked him out. Obviously, that was at welterweight, and there are I was cutting too much weight and this and that, and his chin wasn't durable, and he's 23 and all those excuses. But I don't think it was because of that. I think it was because, again, Rob does terrible against fucking any southpaw fight. It's because Rob, he has this tendency. It's a good tendency. It's a thing you see a lot in boxing. It's somebody throws their jab, but it's almost like a counter jab to another person's jab. It's you slip. It's a slip jab, right? You slip and you throw the jab, right? It's you go here and then bop, right? He does that a lot, and he's a beautiful jab. He really does. I give him his credit for a guy with a 73 inch reach. Doesn't have the tallest or longest arms. I'm gonna say tallest, longest arms. He has a really good jab. I like his jab. He does it really well. I thought obviously I'm not gonna show the clips, but in the Yoel fight he showed his jab pretty well. But against southpaw guys, against orthodox guys, he's a problem with that jab. Even against southpaw guys, he's a problem. But it's when he slips his head. It's his head movement, really. It's the way he slips it's his defense. It's his defensive skills. It's very it needs work, but I feel like he did fix it, though. He fixed it a little bit in his next, obviously in his win streak, right? And against Wonderboy, right, we saw that it got exposed. But against Darren Till, he showed a lot of improvement, I thought, in my humble opinion. And against a guy in Darren Till that actually has a win over Wonderboy, which is actually interesting. I know a lot of people don't like Darren, and they think he's a bum, and it is what it is. What it is. I have a weird opinions on Darren. Sometimes I dislike him because of his fucking fans, and then other times I don't mind him. I actually felt bad for him sometimes. I ain't gonna lie, man. Derek Brunson, as much as I bring it up to the UK boys, the way Derek Brunson beat that kid up, man, I was fuck, man. Derek put it oh my god. We're gonna talk more about that fight, but still, when Derek Brunson fights Cannonier, but dude, that was just a beatdown. But this is a lot closer. I still had a 4-1 Whittaker. Actually, what's crazy? When I first watched it, I had 2-2 going into the fifth, and then I watched it again, and I'm how the fuck did I have this 2-2? It was fucking funny. I don't know if it was the commentary that got me or what. I usually don't watch it with commentary. When I do my film study, I'll just turn it off. Nothing against the guys that commentate. But yeah, I just don't do it. But he did catch Rob in the first round. We gotta talk about the elephant in the room. He did catch Rob with the elbow, and it was a good elbow. It was a pretty good elbow. And yeah, he dropped him, and I thought it was over for Whittaker, and he came back. I was like shocked that he came back, but he did come back, and he dropped him back right in the second round, and then I thought Rob proceeded to clean sweep the round, and the fight. I mean, Rob's jab, like his jab was beautiful in that fight, man. One of those things I noticed, but it was a really like not a like high paced fight. You know what I'm saying? Like not a lot of things happen. I would say Darren Till something for Israel to show, and if you're an Israel fan, something you should be happy with. I mean, Whittaker had a hard time taking him down. That's one thing. He did have a hard time taking him down, and he just really couldn't take him down. Besides, I think the fifth round, I forgot the total takedown attempts, but it wasn't good. It wasn't good. But eventually, Whittaker did take him down in the fifth round near the last second after he got cut really bad here. And yeah, you know, he ended up winning that a fight that he wasn't supposed to win. It's actually funny. I actually picked Till. I'm not gonna lie. I actually did pick Till to win that because and that's the thing. In Rob's current win streak, I haven't picked him. Yeah, I haven't picked him at all. Because I really want to see him lose. I really want to see this dude lose. I thought he was done. It is what it is. And then, he did what he did. Then he fought Cannonier, did his thing. I don't have any tape on that because, Cannonier, I don't feel like the Cannonier fight really resembles Israel. But I did get the Kelvin Gastelum performance. And, dude, that was a good performance by him. That was his most recent fight. He did really good in there, man. I thought he looked exceptional. I can't even hate on him on that. I picked Kelvin. I thought Kelvin was going to knock him out. To this day, I stick with what I said. He did. I don't care what no one says. That is horrible what he did at UFC 234. I don't give a fuck what kind of injury he had. You don't do that last minute. He knew about the injury. He should have pulled out a week of, and then you could have done Kelvin versus Israel right then and there for the interim title. You could have done it there. But tummy aches, I guess, just takes precedent over UFC pay-per-views and I guess fans' opinions. But he looked amazing. He proved me wrong. I ate my humble pie. I really thought Kelvin was the better man, and it is what it is. The first round, I mean, his 1-2 high kick, it was fucking, oh my god, it was out of control, man. It was fucking out of control. He really hurt Kelvin in that first round. I really do think that 1-2 high kick really landed good and kind of stumbled him back. But KG, again, chin of fucking stone, does not break and will never quit. He kept going forward. Dude, Rob landed this one combo where he threw the jab, the roundhouse kick, then a lead hook, and then I think he tried to throw the right, but it kind of got partially blocked. Like that, the dude was going. It was one of his best performances. Like as much as I don't like the dude and his fans, I can't hate, man. That was too clean of a fucking performance, and he looked amazing in there. He really did look good. He was able to take down Kelvin at will. It was crazy how easily he was able to control Kelvin and just take him down. And I was just like, whoa, like that's fucking nuts, man. He took him down, I think, twice in the next few rounds. The jab was really good from Whittaker. The leg kicks, I mean, he would throw the jab, then the leg kicks, like it was like crazy. I think he took him down one more time, right, with like a quick single leg. Then Kelvin got his own takedown. Don't forget that. I'm not gonna let Kelvin got his takedown. And then, dude, there's a really cool scramble in the fifth round where Kelvin's getting up from a takedown situation, and then Rob has his back, and they kind of Granby rolled, and Rob, like, it was a really good back take from Rob. Like, I liked how the way he took the back from that position, and he's almost like he backpacked him a little bit, and it was cool. I give Rob that, and I would love to see him do that against Israel. But obviously, from what we've seen, I think Rob has learned. He's learned from what he did. I think he's kind of got better. I think his hand placement's a lot better. I still think he still has some issues. Like, he does get hurt. Like, in his last, he didn't get hurt against Kelvin. Kelvin was touching him a little bit, but he didn't get hurt. Against Jared Cannonier, he got hurt at the end of the third round, and he got dropped at Till. So it's not a good look for Rob, but I do think he's made some subtle adjustments to his game, and I've seen it. Like, obviously, he's willing to wrestle more, and that's really the biggest adjustment that he's made. Is that? But with Adesanya, man, I looked at a fight where he dealt with Robert Whittaker's style well, and he dealt with a style kind of similar to Rob badly in his most recent fight. So the one I thought he actually did well, even though it was a really, really close fight, and some people actually don't give him a lot of credit for this, is the war with Kelvin Gastelum, right? The reason why I said he did well is because he fucking won. That's really what it comes down to. He won. Kelvin, he's a boxer wrestler, right? I wouldn't say he's exactly like Rob, but they're both from welterweight. They're both a little shorter than Israel, so that's where the similarities come from. Kelvin did his thing. Don't get it twisted. I mean, he landed that hook in the first round, dropped Izzy. Then Izzy fucking drops him back in the fucking second round. Then he has that cool little spinning back elbow to sprawl little sequence, and then he defended another takedown, which is a good thing for Izzy. I thought Kelvin did take him down, I think, in the third round, right? He did get a blast double. Then he throws the greatest high kick of all time. That fight, man, I was so proud of KG, man. No matter what anyone says, to this fucking day, that performance by Kelvin Gastelum, whatever happens in his fucking career, it's my guy no matter what. A lot of people are hating on Kelvin. Everyone's like, "Oh, you shouldn't wear the belt, dude." Da, 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 da. And it's like he said he said it simple. Wrestling rules. You don't show up, you forfeit. Rob forfeited. Right now, it's 1-1. It's 1-1, right? But whatever anybody fucking says, it's 1-1. But KG, he proved so many people wrong. And everyone jumped on the KG bandwagon, and then he started losing, and then they started hating on him, right? But everyone's like, "Oh, fucking KG's nuts" after the Adesanya fight, right? But I stick with my boy. I ain't no hoe. Y'all know me, never been a hoe. eBay, there's a few things you can't call eBay. Actually, I think you can call me a hoe. You can call me a hoe. Actually, I do be hoeing a little bit, but you can never call me a snake. That's something it just don't mix. It's not normal. It's like oil and vinegar, right? Like, it's not something that's supposed to be together, right? It's just, I never snake my boys. But as much as I love KG's performance, he did precedingly get dropped 3 times in the 5th round, and obviously Izzy, as much as I dislike him, and I think it's kind of weird that he brags about this, because I feel like he shouldn't even talk about it. Just let the fans brag for you. I don't know. I could have talked for a second. But he had a cool moment in there where he said, "I'm ready to die," and he went in there and precedingly fought his heart out, man. I give him credit. He fought like a champion that day. That 5th round, one of the best rounds of his career, in my humble opinion. He showed his championship grit, and sorry, something on my nose. But yeah, he did his thing. As much as it pains me to admit it, he did his thing. Against another guy, I feel like that's kind of similar to Robert Whittaker, not in like size, but in skill, is Jan Blachowicz, right? So Jan, you could say, doesn't have the bouncy movement of a Robert Whittaker, right? But he has some of the tools, right? The jab, right? The cross, right? And the body kicks and the high kicks and the leg kicks, right? Something that Kelvin Gastelum didn't have, right? And obviously Jan used the wrestling like KG, right? So now here's the difference. Jan actually won, and Jan did it really, really well. So the first 3 rounds, Jan, I felt like, did a really good job of going low, low, high, low, high. He would always not just try to headhunt. I feel like a lot of these guys try to headhunt with Izzy, and they don't throw any body kicks. And if they do throw body kicks, it's too slow, and they all get caught. Now, Jan just walked them down, right, through the jab, through the 1-2, and through the body kick amazingly, and checked all of his kicks, man. And one thing I also love, he would always mix in the takedowns. Even in the second and third round, he might have not got a lot of control with the takedowns. He always went for him. And got really good positions, I felt like. And Izzy would get back up. And then in the 4th and 5th round, he got those 2 takedowns, man. 2 big takedowns. I was, oh man, as much as I know y'all, I do call this man. He is Journeyman Yan. I'll never stop fucking calling him that. And I've explained why I've called him that, because motherfucker was talking shit about Corey Anderson after he beat Ryan Bader, and Corey didn't say nothing about him. I know he beat Corey the first time, all right, or not. Not the first time, actually. Corey won the first time. I know he beat Corey the second time, but that was Corey's moment. You don't have to fucking trash on Corey after he wins a fucking fight. Corey didn't even say nothing about you. Oh, this guy who I knocked out thinks he's the best in the world. Goes and proceeds to get tapped out by fucking Glover in 2 rounds. But whatever. That's why I call him fucking Journeyman Young, because people forgot. People forgot where he came from, where it started. All right, don't get the history right. The man wasn't fucking a world champion since day one, but he showed up against Adesanya. I give him that. He showed up against Adesanya and did everyone a fucking favor that day. And man, those two takedowns were pretty good. The ground and pound near the end was great. I loved it. I was really happy about that. Really, really happy about that. And yeah, he won the fight. He beat Adesanya, and that's something Rob can look at. Against Marvin Vettori in the rematch against Israel, his most recent fight, I was pretty pissed. It's a hard fight to watch. Marvin got takedowns. Like, that's nothing. Marvin actually did all right. Marvin got the first takedown of the fight, actually, or in the first round. He got a takedown off a kick. It's something I think Rob can look at. But Adesanya showed his really good jiu-jitsu game, actually, in that fight, and was able to get up. I felt like Izzy landed beautiful leg kicks. Like, it was one of those things that it was really like Marvin was trying to wrestle and box with him, and he didn't check no leg kicks at all. Like, that was the problem. I was really mad at Marvin. He didn't check one kick. And that's what happens. Like, he got fucking tagged, and I didn't feel like Izzy would kind of run away from him. I didn't feel like Izzy really engaged in the boxing with Marvin, or I wouldn't say in the boxing. He didn't engage in the pocket with Marvin, and yeah, it happened, and it is what it is. He just tagged him up from range, and then Marvin, he had a really big blast double in the third round, and this is where my heart rose and sank, man. This it fucking pains me to even think about this. He gets the blast double, right? He gets some control, right? Then he gets in half guard. He could have just stuck in half guard and won the fucking round. A lot of these rounds Marvin could have won when you really think about it. That's what fucking pains me, is because I did like a full fight, goddamn film study breakdown on this motherfucking shit, and the guy does that in that fight, man. And one of the biggest bonehead decisions is Marvin goes for mount, then Izzy gets back up. Marvin takes his back. Instead of going for the body triangle, Marvin goes for the rear naked choke without securing. It's always, they say it all the time. It's the best jiu-jitsu guys. You got to secure position over submission. And then he went for submission over position. And he failed, and that motherfucker got on top. He was able to reverse him. And it fucking, oh my God, he put his fucking hands on his neck. And when I rewatched it, I was like, man, get your fucking hands off my boy, you punk bitch. I didn't like how he put, like, it's like he put his hands on him like a female, like, yeah. You know what I'm talking about, right? When you really going, when you're raw dogging your girl, oh my God, I'm gonna be y'all going. When you're raw dogging your girl, y'all, right, I gotta say, because I brought it up. Sometimes you might put your hand on her neck, right? I ain't like how he did that to Marvin. It made me feel some type of way. I didn't like that. So, I was not happy about it, but he did it. And then Marvin got some takedowns after that, but he got one big takedown, and then Izzy fucking reversed it. It was sad. And then Marvin actually got dropped by a leg kick, and then that was the story of the fight. Nothing really much happened in there. It wasn't much of a fight, to be honest. I wasn't really impressed with both guys. Izzy won though, so it is what it is. I gotta live with that. And now we're here. Israel Adesanya. Titty boy versus Robert Whittaker. I think it's simple. Basically for Izzy, like I said before, don't throw too many kicks. I wouldn't throw any kicks at Rob right now. I would try to box him up. Again, try to expose the southpaw thing, the hook. And it's going to be hard. Either Rob, here's the thing. Rob can lose a decision or win a decision. That's what it really comes down to. Because I don't think Rob's going to engage and try to come at him crazy. It's going to be dumb. He's going to get hurt. And I think Izzy knows that. So Izzy just has to, keep calm, keep it at your range, at kickboxing range, and jab at his face all fucking day. I would not actually, again, don't throw kicks, but just jab, 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 jab. Like, again, just jab with him. And if he comes in the pocket, make him pay. And that's the thing. And also, Izzy's really good at catching body kicks. As much as I said Rob should throw body kicks, he's really good at catching body kicks and returning body kicks back or head kicks off of, throwing them out the way. It's just the release of the attack when you catch the kick and then you throw, like, you kind of move out the way and then throw your own kick, right? He's really good at that. For Rob, and, well, let me talk more about Izzy. And just, make Rob pay for all the mistakes he makes. And at the end of the day, as much as this is going to sound fucked up and it's going to sound mean, if Izzy doesn't get taken down or controlled for a whole round and they're just standing up and they're on the feet, they're going to give it to Izzy. That's just how the judges are. They just fucking love him, and the commentators are going to suck his dick, and his fucking fans are going to be like, oh my God, he's the best striker. Da, da, da. So, and yeah, that's really what it comes down. For Rob, my advice, again, the body is there. Izzy does this as bait, and even I thought that it was a bad thing, but really, it's very hard to catch him. He does that shit where he backs his head up all the way and, leaves his chin in the air almost as bait, and you think you can catch him with that overhand, and rarely people do. So it's not even worth it. You're just going to be hitting air. You got to attack the body's there, the body kicks. That's what Jan did. The way he got to the head is that he went after the body, right? And then throw kicks. The oblique kicks were beautiful. I loved how he threw the oblique kicks, right? He has to throw body kicks. He has to. Obviously, the high kick was good. And obviously, the number one thing for Robert Whittaker, fucking wrestle, you dummy. All right? You're a wrestler, okay? You grew up wrestling. You're not a kickboxer. Okay, please wrestle. That's all I got to tell this dude, man. That's it. Wrestle. Wrestle. I don't give a like Marvin. I was mad at Marvin, but at the end of the day, he did the right things to try to win, right? He tried to wrestle. He just proved him. But y'all already know this shit be hating on me. But like I said, Marvin did the right things. He followed the blueprint, right? He tried to, and he just couldn't do it. Robert, you have to follow the blueprint if you want to fucking win. If you don't even try it, you're not going to win. And that's why you lost the first time, and hopefully you win this time. And y'all, I'm going to be picking Robert Whittaker by decision. I was thinking about doing it by finish, but I just don't see it. I would love to see him fucking choke this motherfucker out, but at the end of the day, I don't like Rob, and I'll probably be rooting for every other dude to beat Rob after he wins the belt, and hopefully they don't. Oh, please, God, don't give us a third fight. Please, God, don't give us a third. I pray to God Rob just dismantles him 50-45, so there's no need for a third fight. Please, no trilogy. Right? But Rob, I've berated you, I've insulted you, I've disrespected you, disrespected your fans, but I need you. I'm tired of this guy named Israel Titty Boy Adesanya. I am tired, and I'm begging you to beat him, please, for the love of God, for the people, for the kids, for the world, for the birds, for the animals. We need world peace. Israel loses, world peace will be achieved. If you're not going Robert Whittaker by decision, you're not a good person. You're not a good person. So it is what it is. That's why I'm picking Robert Whittaker. Hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown. Obviously, we're at the end of the video. So go follow me on my Twitter, my Instagram. All those links will be down below in the description box. If you're new, subscribe, like, comment, share the video, and let's get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation growing. Love y'all, and goodbye.